Hello, future millionaires. This is Aztec, and this is the CSC.
Matic network, get that crypto. It's not hard, it's so simple. Matic network, Matic network, Matic network.
All right, guys. Today it's going to be a little different. We're going to switch things up. We got all this panic going on, and I want to go ahead and address it. Coronavirus. We got the markets selling off, but overall, there's so many great things as well happening on the back end, like the development of the Web 3.0, DeFi making moves, Matic Network, my favorite project, making all kinds of partnerships. And so, I want to go ahead and get into this today. I'm going to actually talk to you guys about, I'm actually in the medical field, so I know a little bit about this. I'm actually on the front lines of directly helping with the coronavirus. So I'm going to talk to you guys about how to fight the coronavirus. We're also going to talk about the markets. And I do want to do a review on one of the new dApps or projects that are working with the Matic network. And this is Sapien. This was in a Cointelegraph article. I'm actually going to review Sapien and show you this social media alternative platform that is being scaled by Matic now and gives you the ability to have incentives and focuses on privacy. So we got a lot to talk about today, guys. I want to go ahead and start off with the markets and just give you a couple thoughts that I have. Generally speaking, if we go ahead and do this up fib from the bottom of the chart here for Bitcoin back in December of 2018, before we rallied and moved up, we can see that on this up fib we have definitely corrected from the highs of the $14,000 area. And we broke down. We're forming what seems to look like a bear flag, and we are finding resistance currently at the 0.786, which is very bearish. Bear flag resistance at the 0.786. We're not getting like the strongest bounce at this point at all to show some sort of positivity. So I think technicals definitely suggest that things are bearish. In general, though, some of the technicals can seem a little optimistic, but we have to be careful. So basically, to show you some of the optimism, you have the RSI. It does look like it wants to break up and try to move above 30, but it is in a bearish control zone, so that's not very optimistic. But it looks like it's pointing up and looks like it wants to move out of the bearish control zone. If we look at the MACD here, we zoom in on it, you can see that the selling pressure is subsiding on the histogram. But this MACD doesn't necessarily look like it's looking to cross over the signal anytime soon. But the selling pressure is slightly subsiding at this point, though it could increase at any point. And you do see that the histogram does show where it goes deep red to a light red, deep red to a light red. And that could happen definitely, but this also could be optimistic in the sense that some of the selling pressure is subsiding. The Stokes do show that we got a buy signal back here on March 20th, March 12th. Though we are kind of bouncing here and moving upward, there is a chance that we do find resistance here. If we drew a line right here, I could just kind of show you. You could see here that there could be a resistance point for the Stokes where that would basically cross down again. So overall, I think that looking at the daily, which is one of the most important time frames in my opinion, you do see a sense of bearish sentiment. But I want to say all that to basically say that one thing we do have to realize is that a lot of this breakdown is total fear. And we're at the very bottom of fear levels, where it's just absolute fear. And if the markets were to switch over because of positive news, these type of extremely fearful markets can bounce very hard. So, generally speaking, if you're holding something and you didn't trade this properly or trade it at all and you took massive hits, it might not necessarily be the best time to sell, in the sense that, you're already in a loss. Um, if the markets do rebound hard at this point, you would sell at an extreme loss. Though another thought is if this is truly a bear flag, the measured move of this bear flag is very deep. I mean, if I look at my other chart here and we zoom in here, I mean, the measured move of this bear flag is around 2,500. So for Bitcoin. So, I mean, you do have to kind of look at this. Do you want to look at this fundamentally, or are you just going to hold? Because technically, even though the markets are crashing for Bitcoin, we do know that this is the most bullish that Bitcoin has ever been, with all of the positive sentiment regulations that are happening. You have to kind of think for yourself. Are we looking at this fundamentally? Because fundamentally, we should be moving up. Technicals are suggesting that we move down. And I think that is a choice you have to make for yourself. Technically speaking, we do look like we're going to move down at some point and continue the bleeding. But fundamentally, if we look at it from that standpoint, we see that we could bounce very heavily if there is any slight change in the wind of, where positivity comes, for the markets, for the coronavirus situation, and things like that. So, personally, I think that it will really, actually, I don't want to give my own personal opinion on this video, because I don't want to influence anyone on this stage. But, I just want to kind of bring you the data and the thoughts that you have to think about, and realize that those are both very good points. And, what will you do? Go ahead and tell me down below. So are you looking to sell here, or are you looking to trade this? Are you looking to hold because you think it's going to bounce? Let me know. Now, in general, a lot of people in crypto world are just pretty much fudding because this coronavirus is scaring everyone. Obviously there's mass quarantines. Italy's quarantine, China's quarantine, and the videos that are coming out of China look insane. Italy, even though their mass quarantine, does look like the people are very optimistic, and there is a lot of fear overall. But I do see a lot of FUD going on because of the coronavirus, though I don't see very many people talking about how do we fight this. So today I want to go ahead and talk about this article, and it says the best ways to kill coronavirus in your home. Now, essentially, hopefully you don't have the coronavirus in your home, but I do want to bring this article up and kind of read a portion of it, because I want everyone to think about how to fight these things in general, knowing that there's like anywhere from 2 to 14 days or possibly more incubation period for this virus, where you could be spreading it, have the virus and not even know. It's good to practice ways to keeping your home safe, especially if you have other people in your home. And one of the best ways is to disinfect your home as much as possible, especially during this time. And I know a lot of people are turning to like bleach wipes and all the different type of disinfecting type materials that are out there, at Walmart or whatever store that you go to. But obviously bleach kills a lot, and there's many studies behind bleach killing and disinfecting these virus. But there are other things that people are looking at, like alcohol, hydrogen peroxide, and even natural chemicals like vinegar and tea tree oil. Now, I'm not recommending anything, because I'm not giving medical advice here. So I do want to make that very, very known, because I'm actually just reading this because I want everyone to realize what you can do. I want to put some positivity out there to give you the tools to fight this. Now, obvious bleach does the job, so I'm not really going to go over this. But something that a lot of people miss are some of the outside of the box ways to take care of yourself. There's so many different things that you can do when everything's gone. For instance, toilet paper's gone on the aisles, but if you got to do what you got to do, you can use paper towels, and it'll be crazy because some places will be totally out of toilet paper, but there'll be paper towels, at the other side of the aisle. So you can use paper towels for toilet paper. You can use white vinegar to clean if you can't find bleach, or disinfecting wipes and things like that. Distilled vinegar is basically has acetic acid mixture in it, about 5 to 10%, depending on what it is. I mean, it's very natural. You can drink it. Essentially from this here, this was like a $5 gallon, and it shows here that you can clean with it, you can can with it, you can cook with this. People use this in salad dressings and things like that. It's more acidic than malted vinegar, so I purchased this over malt vinegar because malt vinegar is more for cooking because it gives more of a sweet flavor. But distilled white vinegar actually does have studies where it does kill viruses. Now there are also others. There's not that many studies out there, and it does say that vinegar is less significant, but I think that sometimes we have to think outside of the box, especially if everything's bought out. So I'll go ahead and read a little bit about it. I do want to just kind of give something to you guys to put in your tool belts. Now it says vinegar, tea tree oil, and other natural products are not recommended for fighting coronavirus. A study on influenza viruses found that cleaning with 10% solution of malt vinegar was effective, but few other studies have found vinegar to be able to kill a significant fraction of viruses or other microbes. While tea tree oil may help control the virus that causes cold sores, there is no evidence that it can kill coronavirus. So I think what's important to know is that the coronavirus is extremely new. This article is saying that, and you'll find many pieces of literature saying this exact thing. So I want to kind of break this down. I mean, I don't even know if there really is any proper studies about how to kill the coronavirus because it's new. So I think we have to realize that it's new. And obviously I'm giving you guys my opinions here, guys, and not any kind of medical advice. But so when it says that there's no studies to kill the coronavirus, I mean, essentially it's because it's too new to really even have anything profound. But we do know that vinegar does kill a significant fraction of viruses or other microbes, so it can be seen as an alternative. And when everything's sold out, but these are sitting fully stocked, it might be something to think about, because all you need to do is, even if you don't have paper towels and you just have a rag or like a old piece of cloth or whatever, you can get some warm water from the sink, tap water, get it as hot as you can, and do like a 3/4 mixture. Do 3/4 of this and some hot water, or half and half, and basically make a mixture and clean your surfaces off. I think we got to think about how can we do the same things that essentially protect us, that we may not have the ability to buy or purchase. Like hospitals have like bleach and all the proper gear that they're wearing. We have to try to think outside the box to try to protect ourselves. So I did want to bring up this article here. Also, this article here from Shape does say that while some consider vinegar to be a safe alternative to bleach, there is a limited data that suggests vinegar may actually be helpful against certain pathogens. A study in the journal Infection Control and Hospital Epidemiology compared the efficiency of natural disinfectants like vinegar with common commercial disinfectants like Clorox, Lysol, and Mr. Clean against various pathogens, including bacteria and viruses. The results showed that commercial household disinfectants were highly effective against bacterial pathogens, while vinegar was less effective. That said, a bacterial pathogen is different from a viral pathogen. That's very key, guys. Very, very key. So these studies are saying that it's less effective against the bacterial pathogens, but the coronavirus is viral. It's different than a bacterial pathogen. So that said, a bacterial pathogen is different from a viral pathogen, and coronavirus is, well, a virus, not bacteria. To that end, the study's results also showed that only the commercial disinfectants, not the vinegar, were effective against the viral pathogens. Meanwhile, another study found that a cleaning solution with 10% malt vinegar, again, malt. This study is talked about in many articles, and malt vinegar is less effective than your distilled white vinegar because white vinegar has more acidity to it. And it says 10% malt vinegar could be effective at killing the germs that cause influenza virus. Still vinegar is not listed on the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) list of registered disinfectants for use against the novel coronavirus. Related, what to do if you think you have the coronavirus. And then it says vinegar does have acid in it, and it has the capacity to damage bacteria and viruses, but it's not something I would recommend using to prevent the spread of coronavirus, confirms infectious disease expert Amesh, a senior scholar at the Johns Hopkins Center of Health Security. So I think that a lot of these medical people are covering themselves because there isn't that much data to suggest that vinegar will necessarily kill these viruses. But I think we really have to think outside the box, because I've gone to the stores. I have a lot of my own supplies already, but I've gone to the stores just to check things out, and I've noticed that things are totally sold out. So on the back end, if you really need to do something for your family, do try to think outside the box. That's what I'm bringing this up for. And again, something else, in general, with proper PPE, your own personal protection equipment, this is what's needed also to protect yourself if you're, if things get really bad, or if you have someone in your house that has, the coronavirus. The CDC actually recommends an N95 mask. In general, though, like if you were in the hospital and you were to try to protect yourself against the flu, you don't necessarily need an N95 because of the seal that it has. You could just use like a regular face mask, because the purpose of it in general is to not get the droplets. So if someone sneezes, and you see all the particles everywhere, you really just don't want to get that in your eyes or in your mouth. So a mask in general will cover the mouth. You could wear glasses of any sort, goggles that covers your eyes. Goggles obviously being better, or a face shield. Obviously gloves are important, and some type of gown on the outside to cover your clothes would be proper PPE for like a flu type room in the hospital. But I do want to bring this up because N95 masks are being shown, and I think this would be the most effective way. This is kind of overkill, but a lot of people don't know how to actually properly wear these, so I just want to demonstrate this really quickly before we get into Sapien, and this is the platform here. So basically, to use an N95 mask, you're going to take the mask like this, and you're going to take the strings, you're going to put this over your nose and mouth, and you're going to move it behind your head. You're going to have one strap right here, and you're going to have one strap above your head so that you get a full seal. And then here there's a metal bar. You're actually going to press it into the crease of your nose so that you get a full seal. When you move your head down, up, sideways, and side to side, you shouldn't be able to smell anything from the outside, or have any kind of particles come through. And when you breathe in, you should feel like a suction kind of feeling, and this is the proper way to wear this mask. So I just wanted to show you guys how to properly wear this in the case that all of a sudden the virus mutates or something crazy and you have to wear a mask like this, that's how you properly wear it. And you do generally have to be fitted because there is different sizes. And the best way to know is that when this is on, if you were to spray something potent, if you have this on properly, you shouldn't, and you move it any direction, you shouldn't be able to smell that potent smell. So just also know, in general, there are two main things known right now for the coronavirus. To protect yourself is contact and droplet. Those are the type of things you have to worry about. It's not necessarily airborne, just as in it stays in the air and you could breathe it in, and it stays in the air for, minutes on end, up to 10 minutes. It's not something like that. It's more of a particle. So when someone sneezes, the fluid and the droplets fall all over a surface. It'll need to be cleaned. If you touch it and you then, put that on your face, the virus can go, into you. But if you know that you disinfect and you wear gloves or you wear something to cover your body, you wear some kind of mask, an eye shield, as long as those particles, those droplets, or those particles that are going on surfaces are not touching this and going to your mouth or eyes, you're putting yourself in a lot better chance of not getting the coronavirus. Washing your hands is extremely important. Use hot water, and when you're done with soap and water and you rinse for over 20 or 30 seconds, then you can take a towel or basically the paper towel and use the paper towel to turn the faucet off and throw that away. But washing your hands is very important as well. So those are some things to go ahead and keep yourself safe. Now let's go ahead and move on to the article by Cointelegraph. Now this is an exclusive blockchain-based social network overhauls platform partners with Matic. Now you guys know I'm a Matic Mitra. I'm extremely bullish on Matic. They're taking on some of the most key categories in crypto right now, like DeFi, social media now at this point. They're scaling different types of layer one projects like Ethereum, and now they're moving into Bitcoin. They're also scaling Harmony One, and there's many other projects that are looking to use Matic as a second layer scaling solution. So this is extremely bullish for Matic because not only are they doing all that, they're into gaming and many other things. So this article says Ethereum-based social network Sapien has unveiled updates to its platform, as well as a partnership with the initial exchange offering project Matic Network. After several months of development, we're launching the next release of our platform called Alpha per se. Sapien Network co-founder and CEO Ankit Bhatia told Cointelegraph in an interview, "This is a revamped platform across the board," he said, highlighting new aspects such as Portis wallet integration and rewards engine reconstruction. Sapien also secured placement on Kyber widget, allowing trading between Sapien tokens and Ether, according to the statement. So Sapien partnered with the Matic Network for future development. Sapien also announced a collaboration with Coinbase-backed Matic Network, a blockchain scalability platform that garnered over $5 million in capital during the April 2019 initial exchange offering. And it says, "We want to use their technology to build a scalable, decentralized Web3 social network, and their technology will help us do that." So I'm going to kind of skip over some of this and just show you the actual site. I did get this letter. They're saying, "Hi Aztec," and something important to note is it says that in this email, the internet is broken. Perverse incentives have transformed companies founded to connect people and ideas into data brokers who hoard value generated from a $1 trillion data mining industry. Surveillance capitalism has undermined autonomy and democracy, while users have become a commodity. So what I really like about this project is that they're focusing on privacy. We all know that there are, I'm not going to name names, but very large social media platforms that data mine, release information to governments, and third parties can access your information, release that to whoever, highest bidder essentially. And Sapien is looking to go ahead and have focus on privacy so that your private information is not being data mined. And they're also looking to incentivize you. So I actually started an account, and we'll actually start by going to the front page. So on the front page, it would look like this. You have, like your new news that's coming up, pinned news as it says. You have featured content over here on the right. You have hottest tribes, and tribes are basically categories. You have recommended users that you can follow. So it's almost like a Twitter slash Reddit in a way. You can click this little widget over here as 4 dots, and you see that there are different feeds that you have here. You can create your own feeds. You have the home button. You have all the tribes, so all the different categories for Sapien. And I actually have my own tribes that I selected when I initially started the platform, and it's very easy. It literally took me under 5 minutes to set up an account, set up my tribes, put my personal information in, put my picture up, put a little blurb about me and all that. I actually created a tribe. I actually made a Matic network, and if you just press the create button, it takes you to this. You can actually put a picture in, and you can put a description, and I'll actually scroll down to what I made here. I made this Matic network one because, believe it or not, there wasn't anything for Matic network. So I actually made this tribe, and obviously I didn't update the cover photo here, but I did put this little icon. So now people can actually log in with their accounts and use Matic network as a category essentially. And we'll kind of get into how to do that in just a second. So I actually put a little blurb in about the Matic network, being a scaling solution and all that over here in the overview. And I'm a follower. There's one post. If we click post, let's see. So here I'm the follower. The post, it hasn't actually updated yet, so I'll have to look into that. But essentially, if I actually click on, because we're kind of done over here with the tribes and all this information on the left, this little widget. If we actually go back to the front page, here we were, and all I did was scroll down to the Matic network tribe. But you could also search, whatever you want up here. Now, I'll get into the tribes and posting and all that in just a second to kind of show you a little bit more about it. But I also wanted to just kind of focus on the front page at first because it's important to see how, everything looks when you first see it. So you do have a wallet up here in the top right, and I actually linked my MetaMask wallet. And it basically shows you their SPS or SPN token that you have staked here. I have 0 at the time. You have this charges information, and it says charging allows you to promote content you feel is valuable to the network. The promotion fee is calculated based on your stake and the stake of the creator. If you also opt in to contribute to the curator pool, you may receive rewards from future users who charge that post or comment. Fees help support Sapien to become the leading Web3 social network of the future. More details on the rewards here, so you can click for more information if you wanted. So you can actually charge a post. You can stake SPN tokens, which is Sapien's actual token. You can link your wallet. So making the process of everything a lot easier. You can actually click rewards right here next to wallet. Once you click wallet up here, and it shows all the rewards that you have. I have 0 at this time, and it says no rewards, earn rewards by posting or commenting. So there is incentives for using this, very similar to the Brave browser, which I'm actually using also. And then you have this, you can click over here, which is SPN. brings this down. It says, basically what you're staking, your rank, and your activity. Obviously, I have a new account, so there's nothing here. You can actually click right next to wallet where it says new, and you can actually post. So this is how you post. You click new. You can actually post an article. So what you have to understand is there's different categories you can use: article, link, media, or you could start a poll. Now, you can't do all of them. It's going to be one of the four. So essentially, if you wanted to put an article in, you would basically put the title of the article here, and then you would write the article here and be able to publish it by pressing post it over here. If you just wanted to put a link in, which I recently did, you could put the title, you could put the link here, and you could put a description here. You can put media, and you can create your own polls. So this is actually pretty interesting because it gives you a lot of abilities, for a social network platform. Now, next to new, you have this little bell, and that's your notification, so if someone's talking to you. And next to that, you can click your little face here, or essentially it's your picture, whatever picture you want to put in. And my name is Aztec, so I'll go ahead and just click on my here. I just kind of threw in some basic stuff, so I have this Crypto Secret Circle picture as my background. I have my face over here. I have one post. I have no followers. I have 0 following. I can click on my personal information for myself here, which does not show for other people that click into my profile. And my privacy notifications information, I can click on that for myself as well. Now, I actually wrote this up, and I just put, I am Aztec from the Crypto Secret Circle. Check out my videos and tweets. I give Matic Network thoughts and secret analysis to help the community. I'm a Matic Mitra, and then I gave links to my YouTube and Twitter. So go ahead and follow me on YouTube and Twitter. And I did this post here. Essentially, I just did link, and I linked the Cointelegraph article that we were reading earlier, and it says, I put in the title, so exclusive blockchain-based social network overhauls platform partners with Matic. Here's the link to go directly to the site, so if anyone wanted to find the link to the actual article, they'd be able to go there. And then I put my own blurb in. I said, if you're here, then you already know the Sapien social network is focused on privacy with the added bonus of incentives. But did you know they are not partnered? They are now partnered with the Matic network. Matic is the leading second layer scaling solution for blockchain layer 1 projects like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Harmony One, and many more to come. Just imagine what Sapien will be able to accomplish now that they are linked with unlimited scalability. So I think it's pretty cool because I'm the first person to create a category for the Matic network, and probably the first to put something up on Sapien about Matic. And so essentially this is here. People can comment, they can retweet. Essentially, what this looks like. They can share this, and people can charge this here, and there's all these little things that you can do on here, and you can actually get support. This is always showing the bottom right hand corner, so you can actually talk to someone to help you with the site. But essentially that's how you post, and that's the site. It's very straightforward. It's a combination of many different types of social network platforms, and it really is awesome. I think this could definitely take off, especially with Matic behind it, the Matic community. And I think this is definitely a social network platform that is designed for mass adoption, and just one of the many types of projects that are teaming up with Matic week by week to create an ecosystem of use case for Matic. So this is amazing to see. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you did, go ahead and like the video, comment down below about what you think about any of the topics I've talked today about. Follow me, definitely subscribe. I'm on Twitter, like I said here, at @circle_crypto on Twitter. On YouTube, you can search Crypto Secret Circle. I definitely have a growing channel here. And yeah, I think that overall, guys, we have to be careful not to fall totally into fear, and we just have to weigh, the general technicals of the markets currently. I know that, the Fed recently said that they're looking to, you know, throw all this stimulus at the issue, but this is, you know, basically the markets overall, the world markets have, um, been papered over so many times before. So what we're kind of hearing from a lot of people is, the Fed's using last year's or last recession's weapons on this recession, and this recession or possible depression is a lot worse, So we'll see, we'll see what we're doing. We've definitely been kind of just waterfall cascading down on the Dow. The Dow 30 is basically showing a lot of weakness, but we do see that, um, we're kind of moving down sideways, and it's very interesting. I think these EMAs are suggesting that we break down lower, but I do want to see what the Fed is going to do. I know that recently I posted on Twitter. Let's see. There's some recent articles here. Essentially, Boston Fed Chief Eric Rosengren has suggested the Fed might need to widen the range of assets it purchases to stimulate the economy. Some are speculating this could be stocks. So it's interesting because, there's a lot of tools that the Fed has not implemented just yet. And it will be interesting to see what the central bank does to try to curb this coronavirus fear and overall bearish sentiment in the markets. So I think that, there's a lot of things that can happen very quickly. And because this was, a highly leveraged market, in general, with derivatives and even with crypto markets being highly leveraged, with a lot of traders moving the spot price of Bitcoin, we have to realize that everything is moving down because of fear, number one. Two, because of traders and the way that they're shorting the markets so heavily. But we also have to realize that knowing all that and knowing that this is leverage, that something very positive could happen, and that strength that is moving the market down, which is momentum and emotion, could change very quickly. And that the same tools of fear and leverage could swing the markets to the opposite side. So we have to realize that this might not last forever, but it could. And we just have to see both sides of the story and really balance things out for ourselves to see what we're going to do with our, let's say, 401ks or with our Bitcoin holdings and how we're going to trade. And just think about this, guys. There's a lot of things. I think about this daily because I do see us moving down, but I realize that we can move up very quickly, especially knowing that Bitcoin really is the most bullish asset right now because it's not overvalued. I mean, the Dow Jones and, the S&P and even gold, has huge market caps. It's, you could argue that it's overvalued, but Bitcoin is, such a small market cap. It's very undervalued for the use case that it has, and many cryptocurrencies, potential use case and use cases. So this is the most bullish space, and I think that we're probably going to see at some point, once something switches, you're going to see a very hard reversal. So that's just my own personal opinion, but where we're at right now, that's up to you guys to figure out. Are we going to move down? Technicals suggest yes, fundamentals suggest no. But let me know what you guys think. Never give up on the future of money. Take it easy, guys.